Joining us now is our friend and Wall Street insider, we call him, Evercore Partners President and CEO Ralph Schlosstein. Ralph, thank you so much for joining me. I know you're going to be on with me on the set in a few moments, but I just want to get your take first. I mean, these last 48 hours for everybody has been crazy. I just want to know, personally, in your own office, what has been going on as you've been watching this volatility?
Oh, volatility is obviously the enemy of confidence. And so what we've watched, first of all, is the confidence of our clients, business leaders, private equity investors. And no one can sit there and watch the market be down 600 points one day and up 400 points the next day and not be a little bit worried about the future. Having said that, we really don't know what effect this has on the real economy, which ultimately is what will determine both the direction of job growth and also the direction of the market.
But Ralph, does it give you pause, you know, in terms of any plans that you have going forward at your bank? Do you think it would give other CEOs pause for their expansion plans with the volatility we've seen?
Well, I think one thing one learns after 40 years in professional life is that markets go up and down, sometimes slowly, sometimes rapidly, and you have to keep your eye on a solid core strategy and stick to that. And that's not to say you ignore the external world,
right.
But one day or 2 days up or down shouldn't really affect that strategy.
And, Ralph, I want to start with some of the latest news that we had, late last night, where we had Senator Reid come out and name his three choices, his three appointees to the super committee. We're going to get the names, I'm sure, in the next 24 hours or so, or at least very soon. Is any of that going to restore any confidence that you were talking about? You know, take out some of that fear in the markets?
Well, I think the names themselves will not do that, but I think this is a time finally for the grown-ups to step up in Washington, and hopefully all 12 members appointed to this committee, super committee,
right.
Will rise above past party predilections and do what's right for the country. And we know what that is, and hopefully they can achieve that.
You've been in Washington many years. You've been at the Treasury. You know how Washington operates. You have any faith that a super committee of 12 members can do what the entire Congress could not?
Well, I have enormous faith in America and our system. Obviously, watching the last couple months tweaks that faith a little bit.
That's a good word, tweaks.
But, I do believe when you get 12 mature elected officials in a room, they will at least aspire to do the right thing. And in my mind, I was thinking about it last night, it's the 4 Bs. It has to be big. 4 to 5 billion, trillion rather, and I think they should aspire to do more than their mission. It needs to be balanced. There's been a lot of talk in Washington about balance between revenues and expenditures, but it also needs to be balanced between entitlements and expenditures for investment. I think we're probably doing a little too much in the entitlement side and a little too little in infrastructure, education, R&D, the things that make America win in the next few decades. It needs to be back-ended because we're in a weak economy right now, and we shouldn't be doing really drastic things to spending or revenues right now that interrupt the recovery, and it needs to be bipartisan. If we get those four things, we will have a very strong start to fixing our fiscal problems.
Ralph, let's talk about the other B, Barack Obama. I know you've been a big supporter of his, and certainly a big fundraiser within the Democratic Party. One of those on Wall Street, essentially that supports the president. Now, we heard him come out on Monday to try to assure the markets, and lo and behold, then we got this 600-point drop. You had Ben Bernanke speaking yesterday, and the Fed coming out, and suddenly we rally, more than 400 points. What is it that Barack Obama couldn't do? What is it the president couldn't do for the markets that Bernanke actually could?
Well, ironically, we live in a world when it has to do with the markets that the Fed chairman, who has unilateral authority with his governors to do certain things that are supportive of the markets, can have more instantaneous effect upward or downward on the market than the President of the United States, for whom most actions require a path through Congress, which is divided today. So I think the President did the right thing. He reassured the country. And I think the key here is to focus on the long-term actions. And, just apropos what I just spoke about, I would hope that the President would set a high bar for this congressional supercommittee and lay out for them not just the minimal mission, hard as it is, that they have laid out for them in the legislation, but to shoot for that higher goal that I just articulated.
And you have faith that he will? You think he will?
I'm not close enough to the President, and he's smart enough not to listen to me.